Hello there guys, Elita Legionarii here. Today I'm going to be bringing you a 2v2 for Medieval 2 Total War on the Palm Beach map. Now this is the map that I constantly get muddled with other maps, like desert maps. And I always don't mean to deploy myself on this map or select this map, but I always end up choosing it for some reason. But I think I've finally memorized not to always select this map and think it's another map. But on this map the host team always starts at the bottom, which always makes it quite a challenging map from time to time. But it is always a fun challenge. Now I'm just going to pause because this fight is very quick. It's only, as you can see, 4,157, which is really small timer there. So we're already a tenth of the way into the fight and I haven't even started yet, so it's extremely quick. So what I'm going to do in this fight is I'm going to show you my fight, then I'm going to show you my ally Swedish-Landsknekt fight, because I'm not going to be able to catch both our fights just without, within one recording, so I have to like splice them together. So I'm playing as the Byzantine Empire and Swedish-Landsknekt is playing as the Turks. Our opponents are Heaven member Polish Legion. He's playing as Poland. Not a big surprise there. And then we have Telemnar, who is an excellent experienced medieval 2 player. He's playing as Venice, which is terrifying for us because Venice in the hands of a skilled player can be virtually unstoppable, or about as close to it as you're going to get. So because he chose Venice, we took the Byzantines and the Turks. Now the Byzantines and the Turks are not actually great counters to Venice, except they have this unit here, the Alan Light Cavalry. Now the Alan Light Cavalry is very similar to the Stradiots, which the Venetians are so famous for, and this unit is so deadly. It's so fast, it hit hard, gets the mace out, and it's just extremely dangerous. Well, Alan Light Cav are not quite as good, but they're not too far short, and correctly supported they can kill Stradiots. So basically myself and Swedish-Landsknekt got them just these actions just for those reasons, because if you can get the Stradiots away from Venice pretty quickly, Venice in itself isn't actually too difficult to defeat. The Stradiots are what make Venice extremely dangerous. I mean, the Venetian heavy infantry is very dangerous, and the standard's going to boost a lot of morale, but if you can get the Stradiots handled and get a cav edge, it's not too bad. So that's why we had the Alan Light Cav, because they're a very good way to counter the Stradiots. So I have 3 of those, and then for the rest of my cav I have 2 Ladicon and a General's Bodyguard. For infantry I have 4 dismounted Ladicon and then 3 dismounted Byzantine Lancers. I have 3 peasants meat shielding. That's my hope to try and absorb the impact charge from these Venetian heavy infantry, because Venetian heavy infantry have a high charge bonus, and you can lessen their deadliness if you can get them to waste a charge bonus on like peasants or just some kind of junk unit, and then you can follow up with a charge of your own. Because if you take a full-fledged charge from a Venetian heavy infantry, you lose a lot of men. With their armor piercing weapon it doesn't help, so if you can get them to waste their time on waste their charge on a throwaway unit like peasants or something, it's good. So that's what my peasants are there for, and in case they rush us, it's always good to have some peasants as meat shield. So, and then I've also got 3 Byzantine Guard Archers. Now it's always a bit risky for bringing missile units on the Palm Beach map, but again we thought it was a different map, or I thought it was a different map, because if the enemy team brings a missile army, then you're most likely going to lose because they're going to have the high ground. And I mean, Poland's no concern as a missile army because Poland's missiles are crap, but Venice can be dangerous, very dangerous with missile units. But fortunately they didn't bring it, so they're going to go pure rush. So what we decided to do with our missile units is use them as dropping the Stradiots morale, and just dropping enemy units morale with fire arrows. Because if you can drop the morale, because I mean they're not heavily armoured Stradiots, so they are vulnerable to missile fire if you can catch them with missile fire, and fire arrows will reduce their morale and you might be able to rout them sooner. So that's my army anyway. Swede's army, let's see, he's got, looks like 4 Ottoman infantry. The Ottoman infantry is an excellent choice as an arch unit. In field battles it's much better than the Janissary archer, simply because it has 4 melee defense extra, which means it takes a lot more damage. It doesn't quite dish out as much damage as the Janissary archer, but the mere fact it takes this much extra damage more than makes up for that. So that's why he's brought those. Then you have 4 units of Saracen militia, 2 Janissary heavy infantry, 3 Nafatoons of course, 3 Alien Light Cav, much like myself. Both our Alien Light Cav are very heavily upgraded. He's got 2 Kapakulu and a General's Bodyguard. So Swedes is going to probably push up around here, try and get onto Polish Legion's flank, and he'll probably try and knock Polish Legion out fairly quickly while I busy up the Venetians, because it's going to be very difficult for me to knock the Venetians out of the fight early. So the Venetian army is 2 units of pike militia, then it's just a mixture of, I think, like 4 dismounted feudal knights. I think it's, let's see, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4 heavy Venetian heavy infantry and 2 broken lances, so a very large and very powerful infantry corps there. Looks like 3 Stradiots, probably pretty much maxed out, I'd say, or close enough to it. 2 Knights Hospitaller and a General's Bodyguard. So, oh, and the Carraccio Standard, which is gonna, the Standard can be very dangerous because it can make the Venetian morale very high. So this is a pretty damn strong Venetian army in the hands of a very skilled player, so I don't expect an easy fight. Then we have 3 peasants from Polish Legion, probably thinking to use them as a rush protector, much like myself. Then we have 3 Polish Knights, 2 Polish Guard, General's Bodyguard, 6 dismounted Polish Knights, and 1 Polish Noble. That's a pretty good Polish army. He's got his cav strong. It's a good mixture of strong cavalry, probably well upgraded, and he's got enough infantry there to play support. Didn't waste his time with missiles. Don't waste your time with missiles with Poland. It's not worth it. Their missiles are not good. So without further ado, let's begin. So we'll focus on my fight first with the Venetians, and then I'll re-edit it back so that you can see Swedes fight with Poland. So we're going to rush up here, get up into position, which is what we're doing now. It's actually kind of ironic. Every time, I always think it's ironic, every time we see like a Byzantine and Turk team working as allies, seeing as they spent their entirety of their existence together pretty much killing each other until the Turks defeated the Byzantines. It's just kind of funny. So I'm just gonna, I started firing here, just trying to get some flank shots on when Polish was moving. But as you can see, they're going to rush quickly, which is what they need to do because they don't want to give us time to shoot them. So what I'm going to do here is I'm rushing my peasants forward just to absorb any potential charge hits or attacks from Polish, or any of this other stuff. I'm just going to use it as like a meat shield to absorb the charge, basically. And I thought about making a quick charge through here, but his pikemen are going to block me. As you can see, the Stradiots come forward, moving very rapidly, very fast. I should have just flat charged them. I decided to retreat and fall back here because I didn't want to get myself isolated off. But I turn around and get a decent enough charge in on this one. But these 2 Ladicon are going to hold up. They're going to be sacrificed so that I can do as much damage as I can to the Stradiots Hospitallers, and I'm just going to hold out. And I put my General in here too and get a nice charge to him. The General should be quite useful in this fight. But I'm bringing in my Allen Light Cav now. And the Allen Light Cav, while it's not going to be able to beat the Stradiots, it should give me enough time to use my archers to help support it. As you can see, the infantry fight's now on. And as you can see, I mean, I'm going to have to pause. So I mean, I missed a heap of action just in that short time I focused on here. I missed a lot over here. As you can see, Polish Legion's going to be sending a lot of his Polish infantry to help the Venetians crack through my Byzantines. So I'm going to need support from the Turks here to be able to defeat this, but for the most part my infantry's doing okay, holding out throughout here, but I need to get my archers to put fire arrows down on the Stradiots. So yeah, as you can see, he's trying to keep his Stradiots moving, which is always key. You want to keep them moving so you can get enough momentum to cause them to do a lot of damage. And that's what he's trying to do here. He's going to swamp my General here. He's going to try and get my General. As you can see, my Ladicon starting to rout already. It's how quickly they got wasted in that fight. Now what I decided to do is disengage my Alien Light Cav and move him around to try and free out my infantry. Because my infantry's doing okay. Actually, it's doing a pretty good job all the way through. Now I'm trying to put fire arrows down, but my guys were firing very slowly for some reason. Wasn't really sure what that was about, to be honest. But he gets my General as well, and he wins the cav fight pretty decisively. So had I decided to stay, in the melee, in that cav fight, I would have lost this battle. But because I was winning the infantry fight for the most part, I decided to send my Alien Light Cav to quickly try and destroy the Venetian infantry and rout it. Swedes kills Polish Legion's general there.
Now his men will lose heart.
But you see, between the Nafatoons and my back charges there, we mass routed several of those Venetian infantry, and that gives us time to reorganise and coordinate to get the Stratiots. And because my Alien Light Cav is fast, I can get it away from the Venetian units fairly quickly. Whereas if I'd hit heavy cav, this would have been much harder. And we've got fire arrows coming in, and we're going to repeat the flank cav charges here on Polish Legion's infantry units, and it's going to rout them as well.
My lord, only half our force remains.
But I'm trying to use just a few infantry, and I think some of my archers actually got caught. But I'm going to try and use them to keep this Venetian unit off my flank, because we are actually winning in the centre here, so we just need to kind of stall over here so they can win elsewhere on the battlefield. As you can see, with fire arrows coming down, these guys' morale is getting broken quickly. As you can see, all the Polish Legion's guys are routing here because they're now outflanked by my infantry. Down over here, fight's more even, but I'm managing to hold up 4 or 5 units. And I thought about trying to kill his standard here, but I changed my mind because it's spearmen.
But our men are winning the battle and forging a worthy victory.
So yeah, I'm just trying to, as you can see, Swedes has won his fight by this point of the battle, and he's actually going to pour in to come and help me over here. I've still got a few left, so he got a pretty decisive win on his side against Polish. We've still got a good number of archers and Nafatoons left, and our cav is still strong as well. So, as you can see, the battle was just so rapid that I was not able to show you even more of my own side of the battle, let alone Swedes. So I'm going to actually edit it back in a moment, so you can catch what Swedes did, because I don't want to miss his action out. He did very well in this fight, and I don't want to miss it out, because it was definitely a team effort. But as you can see, we managed to just surround what's left of these Venetian units and finish them off there. So yeah, the key thing there was not staying in that Miller and that cav fight, a fight I was losing. I had to get into the get in and try and win the other area of the fight where I was doing well, to try and save myself. So anyway, what I'm going to do now, guys, you can see we're just picking off routers. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to edit it back to the start and show you Swedes' battle. So I'll be back in a moment. Okay then, guys, so you just saw my part of the fight, so now let's watch Swedes' part of the fight. So like I said at the start, what Swede's going to do is he's going to pull his cav to the left here, and his goal is going to be to more rapidly knock out Polish Legion, because Poland will be an easier target than Venice to knock out, which was what his goal was in this fight. So as you can see, he's pulling his cav out to the left, far left like this, and while I push in and be a little more aggressive to busy up the Venetians, he's going to skirmish a bit, but once he gets going, he's going to quickly engage Poland, so that he can help break through. So he's moving out to the far left flank, but he's going to push up here to keep up with me here. But yeah, his job's going to be more or less to try and kill Poland fairly fast, because Poland's the easier faction for us to take out, and Telemnar's probably the more experienced player there as well, which is going to mean he's going to be the harder player. So we're trying to just work it so that we get the easier target out of the way first, essentially. The Polish is still no slouch at medieval too, but it's just Telemnar is probably just more experienced, so it makes it easier for us to try and knock Poland out, because Poland's also the easier faction to kill, so that's what we're going to do. So here we see Swede spots one of these meat shields. He's going to quickly come in, just knock it out quickly. And Polish Legion's going to come down with his Polish Knights and Polish Guard, and he's going to come in from over here. But what's going to happen here is Swedes is going to come in. It's going to be more clumped up here, as you can see, and Swedes recognises this and pulls this Capiculu off, and he's going to flank it. What's also going to happen here is all the Polish Legion's men are completely outflanked by these missile units, so he's going to be able to pour missile fire into these units. So Swedes sent his Capiculu a long way off. I don't think he meant to go that far. But he got that quick charge through there. He's actually going to disengage, not stay in it, so he can further move to outflank. And he's going to pour his infantry in. Because Polish Legion sent his infantry against me over here, it means that Polish Legion's cavalry has become isolated, and therefore it's easier for Swedes to overwhelm them and destroy them. And the fast loss of cavalry for Polish Legion is bad because Polish Legion's power is his cavalry, and if he loses that power, he loses all of it. So while that's happening, Swedes has engaged some of his guys along here where I've engaged, and he's using his Nafatoons to support to quickly destroy Polish Legion's men. But as you can see, Swedes is now effectively wrapping these Polish forces, because Poland got split into two kind of sections. So some of the Venetian Stradiots come over here, but at this stage he's supporting me over here nicely with Nafatoon fire, as you can see, and that was when I brought in that cav strike from my Aelan lights,
the enemy general is dead,
and that helps throughout this section here. But as you can see, Swedes just gets local superiority over here very, very quickly. He did a very good job of killing that cav, but Polish made the mistake of clumping his cav. And while Swedes initially got his cav clumped, he quickly fixed it so that he wasn't staying clumped, because it negates the charge if you clump. Like the charge on those Polish cav is excellent, but it got negated because the first unit got the charge, but then the other units charged straight into they clumped up on behind his own units, and he got no charge. And you have to watch that. So Swedes was careful not to allow that to happen. It allowed Swedes to get a very quick cav advantage. And now what's happened here is we've managed to chain route the Polish infantry and much of the Venetian infantry in the centre here. And now that Swedes was so decisive in his cavalry battle, he's able to come down here and support me against the Venetian pretty quickly. He's been constantly pouring in fire arrows to support me. But very, very aggressive use of his cavalry and to gain a very quick edge, because Polish kind of got split up. He didn't get the best charges, and he got quickly surrounded, and that enabled a very rapid destruction of the Polish forces, which is exactly what we needed, because protracted battle would go in the favour of them, simply because Venice would be able to withstand a protracted battle better than the Turks and the Byzantines are able to do so. So he executed his attack very, very well, while I kind of held out on my side and did support as much as I could. And that's what's important here. And as you can see, he's pouring in his Turkish infantry now to assist me, and he's going to try and kill the standard, and he actually kills the enemy general unit. That's interesting. Here's Telemnar put his general in the standard. I wouldn't do that. Simple reason, for the same reason in 31k Rome Total War, how you don't put your general in the first cohort unit, because the first cohort in itself boosts morale, and then the general boosts morale. It works the same way here. The standard boosts morale and the general boosts morale, so it's better to have two boosting morale units than one. So that's why I wouldn't put my general in the standard. But at this stage, as you can see, Swede supports in, we pour in on what's the remainder of Telemnar's unit, and we're just going to pick off some of the routers out back. I might just speed her up a little bit. And as you can see, we're just pouring in on the last of his men now. So yeah, a pretty simple strategy. Because Venice is so dangerous, the goal was more for us to try and busy Venice while we destroyed Poland, and it worked very well. And it was a good strategy that came together, because Venice is just a very, very powerful faction. But I mean, some people won't play with Venice or won't work with Venice because they think they're OP, and I just don't. I think that's a bit silly. Venice is very powerful, and it can be very difficult, especially in the hands of a talented player. But if you use tactics, you work as a team, you can defeat them. But you just need to be prepared for a difficult battle, basically, because Venice is that kind of nation. So if we look at the statistics here, I have 566 kills, 224 captures. Swedes takes the day with 597 and 367. He did an excellent job of knocking out Polish Legion. Telemnar got 728, tells you how well he did, but Polish Legion only got 255 because he got knocked out so quickly. Had Swedes not been able to knock Polish Legion out as quickly as he did, we would have most definitely lost this fight, I think, because the Venetians would have just outlasted us, and that would have been, much harder for us. We had to win this pretty quickly to have any chance, and we got that. Swedes got that knockout on Polish Legion. That was important. And I think the key thing there was that Polish Legion he charged his cav in, but they all went in as a clump. So only the first cav got its charge bonus. The others kind of just got stuck on the cav in front of them, and that enabled Swedes to get a better charge, and then he was able to encircle, and he had fire arrows to support, and he had that whole morale thing or numerical superiority on the right area. And once Poland loses its cavalry, and if Poland loses its cavalry for like virtually no gain, then the Polish player's going to lose because Poland has to rely on its cavalry. But Telemnar was doing a good job on my side. He effectively destroyed won the cavalry fight, but what I did instead was disengage my Alien Light Cav and get them into that infantry fight, where I knew that between Swedes and Afatoons and my infantry we were actually winning at that stage. So the idea was to quickly destroy the enemy infantry, where we could then use what remaining cav we had and our one infantry section to destroy the enemy cavalry, and that worked out well. So I can't show you Swedes statistics, I can show you mine. They dismounted Legionarii-Cons are pretty good, considering their opposition was Venetian heavy infantry. That's pretty good. Dismounted Byzantine Lancers, they were more reserve and they played support. The Guard Archers didn't do a lot. One of them was a Trebizond Archer actually, I didn't realise, forgot I'd done that. The Allen Light Cav 49, 25, 30, and then the Legionarii-Cons 32, 26. They got pretty wasted, but they at least held in there. But these Allen Light Cav did very well. And they're a very good unit to have when you want to face Venice, because they're good against the Stratiots, or they're at least they're very similar to the Stratiots, not quite as powerful, but correctly supported they can be enough to destroy the Stratiots, and they have that same ability to quickly get out of fights like Stratiots and go do something else, such as what I did in this fight. So that worked out pretty well. So anyway, I'll link Swedes and Polish Legion's channel in the descriptions, so be sure to drop by on their channels, check them out, I'll appreciate it, I'm sure. And yeah, leave comments, guys. Tell me what you thought. Tell me what you thought about this fight. It was pretty intense, pretty rapid, pretty exciting, I thought. But tell me what you guys think in terms of strategy, tactics. Just, if you've got something on your mind, something you want to share, or some criticism, or I don't know, praise. It's all welcome, guys. It's always good to get feedback. So feel free to leave some. So thanks again, guys, and I'll be seeing you soon next time.